Does it hurt when you get hit in the head with those metal folding chairs? Why, yes. Yes, it does. You might be surprised how often I get that question as far as, does it hurt when you get hit in the head with a metal folding chair? But I understand the question, because most people believe that in wrestling, we have ways to gimmick everything, to fix everything to where it doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's not true. A lot of the stuff hurts. You just suck it up and take it. Now, in the WWE, do they use chairs that have some very thin, fine metal? Sure, because, they're a big budget company. They can do those things. Still hurts. That's why if you've noticed, in the WWE, they have outlawed chair shots to the head because of the potential ramifications of doing so. But see, in the indies, we don't have the luxury of, money. So the chairs that I got hit with are just like the folding chairs that sit around the kids' table for you at Thanksgiving. And they're the type that if, big fat Uncle Fred gets drunk during the Thanksgiving proceedings and goes and sits at the kids' table, they're going to support him too. So, yeah, they sting. Now, in just a minute, I will explain to you exactly how we go about delivering chair shots and trying to keep each other as safe as possible, which is always the goal in wrestling. But before that, let me recommend that you don't go about testing these features. It's best you don't go taking metal folding chairs to the head. I survived it as well as I have for this long, and it's because of a physical anomaly that I possess. You see, I have a mutantly large head. True. Didn't even realize how much so until a doctor actually confirmed that my head is literally off the charts. I'll quickly tell you the story of how I learned this is when my son Braxton was born, his head was larger than most. And they thought it was nothing to be concerned about. It happens commonly with babies, but they wanted to check him every week and make sure. So we went to the doctor, they measured his head, put it up, against the chart there, and he was like at the 85th percentile. So we got home and I got thinking about it. So I called the doctor back and I told her, I said, listen, I don't know if these things can be genetic or not, but I have a ridiculously large head. And she goes, oh, well, she said, well, the next time you bring your son in, can I measure yours too? And I was like, sure. So mind you, I'm under 6 feet tall, and with a shaved head, I wear a size 8 hat. So we go back into the doctor the next time, and they checked my son, and Brax was doing well. He had come down. He was like in the 75 percentile. And she says, let's try Dad. She takes the measurement, and then she said, okay, the adult chart we have is out of the room. So she goes out of the room. A couple minutes later, she comes back and she says, I think we may have found the culprit. You are off the charts. Literally, I was beyond the 100th percentile on the chart. So that is why I am uniquely equipped to take massive amounts of cranial trauma. Lucky me. You probably don't have that going for you. So I'm going to say, use the folding chairs for sitting. What the hell? So what's the safest way to go about bludgeoning someone with a metal folding chair? I'd have brought a folding chair up here to demonstrate for you, but I got looking around our house and realized we don't have any. And as I think about it, that's probably Freudian, because they would give me PTSD. But I think you can well imagine what I'm about to explain. The basic idea with taking a chair shot is, first of all, you hit with the seat. If you use the other side, you got that nice rim around there, there's going to be a lot of blood, a lot of concussion. Somebody's going to end up just drooling in a corner somewhere. So you hit with the seat. Most important thing, you must hold the legs. The legs are pinned together. You've got to hold them tightly, because when you deliver the shot, the seat's going to hit my head and those legs are going to try and open up. If they do, you get the sandwich effect, and that hard back of the seat comes and lays the back of the head open. Very important. I'm going to show you some pictorial evidence of exactly why that's important. Let me give you the setup real quick. We were doing a spot. I had actually since retired, but I was still involved with, you never get away from wrestling, at least I can't. I love it. But we were doing a spot where I was doing a guest thing. I was like, like one of the bosses of the old guard. And so the angle was new guard taking over from the old guard. So I was going to wrestle one of the young guys, and he was going to take me out with a chair at the end of the match. The young man comes to me beforehand, in the locker room, and he says, "Curtis, I've never done a chair shot before." So I just gave him all the instructions I just told you guys. But what I told him was, what happens in those situations is they will actually hit you too easy because they don't want to hurt you and they don't have any experience with it. So I told him, I said, "Listen, I'm selling this as a knockout. So when you swing the chair, swing it. Hit me safely, hit me with the seat, but give it a good swing. If you tap me with it, I'm not going to sell it and I'm going to punch you in the face." I said, "You're not going to make me look stupid selling a knockout for this." And he goes, "Okay." So he was all gung-ho, ready to go. We had the spot set up. He had a female manager. She did her spot. She grabbed my foot while I was going to the ropes. Chair's already in the ring. I look down and drawing with her. She says he's ready. I turn around. He's got the chair all the way back here because he really did not want to get punched in the face. I turn around, fed him my head. He goes, boom. My head, he did what he was supposed to. He held the legs of the chair. My head blew through the seat, took the seat right out, got the sandwich effect, and it laid the back of my head open. I'll show you pictures of that night. Forewarning, these are pretty gruesome. So I will verbally tell you when the pictures are down. The first picture is bloody. The second picture I'm going to show you is of the actual wound. It's really pretty gruesome. So I will verbally tell you when each picture is up and then down if you want to look away. But here's the picture they took of me in the locker room right after. As you can see by the dopey grin, the amount of head trauma doesn't matter because I just love that business so much. A lot of the gang, my wrestling buddies have said that's one of the most bizarre pictures they've seen, that big a smile with that much blood. But now here's the second picture. This is the actual wound, and this is what it looks like if a chair shot goes bad. Yeah, that's pretty grisly right there. All right, picture's down now for those of you who, with weaker constitutions, who want to look back. So get an idea there, that exploded the back of my head. It was funny, to me it was funny in the ring because this young guy's going to pin me, and of course the mat was already covered in blood, looked like a crime scene, looked like a murder scene. And he's going, Curtis, you really hurt. I'm so sorry. And I was almost laughing to myself. It's not a tough guy thing or anything. By that time in my career, had that happen countless times. It doesn't unnerve you anymore. It's the back of my head bleeding. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna feel a little tired and weak from the loss of blood, but I'll drink some orange juice. I'll get some super glue and I'll be okay. You see, the chair shots, though, they were pretty important to me because wrestling is all about telling a story, and I told very violent stories. If there was chair shots involved in my match, there was a reason for them, and they were a part of what I did. You see, everybody's got to have a gimmick. I was never going to be a pretty boy, as you can clearly see. I was never going to be a high flyer, and I had decent strength, but never had mutant strength, to go to that next level and be a strong man. But thanks to this football helmet under my skin, I could take a beating like nobody's business. And I really enjoyed giving one out too. So violence was my thing. And I know a lot of people say, well, why didn't you just put your hands up? I didn't want to. I always looked at it like this. If I don't want to take a chair shot, I won't. And this is just for me. I'm not throwing stones at anybody who did the chair shots, put their hands up. If that's your choice, I'm good with it. You should do what you're comfortable with. I wasn't. No matter how quick, how deft you are at putting your hands up, to me, the crowd sees it. And if I'm going to sell that this is violence, it's going to be violent. So if I didn't want to take a chair shot, I don't take a chair shot. But if I was going to tell that story of violence, it was going to be chair against forehead. It's just the way I wanted to do things. Now, if you guys have any other questions about wrestling and the wrestling business, please, by all means, post them in the comment section. I look there all the time. When I see a good question, I'll make a video dedicated to it. If you want to know more things about what hurts, what doesn't, how do you do this, how do you do that, anything at all. I never get tired of talking about wrestling. So by all means, please post any question you want. The more the merrier. So, and in conclusion, as to the question, do chair shots hurt? Yes. When you happen to be a mutant as far as cranium density, probably not quite as much. And I still have a grudge against the doctor who explained all this to me, because he told me, about my mutantly thick bone density, and I'd been telling everybody forever that my head was so big because it was crammed full of brains. But he had to go and take an x-ray and ruin everything. Jerk.